All right. So, 3.22 Trial of the Ancestors patch notes. I've not seen anything. I've been avoiding the internet. It hasn't been that long. We're not that late. But what do we got? So, what do I want to see in this before, or what do I expect to see? First of all, I'm a little bit scared that Poison SRS might get a nerf. I know it's going to be a fantastic build again, and probably even better than it has been. So I'm a little bit worried that it's going to get a nerf. But if it doesn't, I expect ailments to get a nerf in some way. Because I just still think, especially poison, but like ailments are actually still a little over the top. And if it's just ailments, I've been saying this for a while, the best way to nerf elements is probably to change temp chains. I think it should scale. I don't think it should just be 40% all of the time, where you can just have like a level 1 temp chains and it does everything. I think that should be like 10% at level 1 and maybe like 25 at level 20 or something. It should be scaling with gem levels to make me actually use the thing, instead of just throw on a pair of gloves and get the entire benefit of a max level. So that's what I think should happen to it. That's the way I would change it. And I'm hoping that that's all they do to it, and not the classic like, this is a bit too strong, here's 7 different ways we could nerf it, we did them all. Like that, I'm just hoping that that doesn't happen. So yeah. As far as what else I'm hoping for, I expect Vengeance Cascade to disappear because of the support gem. I'm hoping that that's all they do to bows. I'm specifically excited to start bows, and I think we can do without Vengeance Cascade. I've played without it before. It's fine. As long as they leave everything else alone, then we'll still be pretty good. Other than that, I don't know what else to expect. That's all the things that I have. That's all the things that I have. So let's go. All right, so a whole list of, oh Jesus. That's a long list of things. All right, let's just go. Right, challenge leaders are, this is a copy paste from every fucking thing ever. All right, the Ancestral Challenge, you'll visit the Karui Afterlife. Yep, we know this. Play through the league, trade all silver coins, which are used to gain passage. Sure. In each match, you select the tribes. Okay, we don't need to know. We don't really need to know about this. Mostly because it's not super new information. This is all just stuff we're used to. We'll have all the different versions. Yep, cool. All league stuff. All right, new content. Added the Forbidden Sanctum to the core game with a few adjustments. Fucking big pog. Forbidden Sanctum was one of my favorite things. I loved it. New strength support gem, Controlled Blaze. Supported melee attacks, providing them with a chance to ignite. Supported skills deal more ignite damage for each ignite inflicted with them, but less damage. Earthquake Ignite? Earthquake Ignite? Okay. And a new strength support gem. Corrupting Cry. Ah, that's the Corrupting Blood one. Yep. That one will be interesting. I'll be interested to see Corrupting Blood versions of Cry builds running around. I don't have any idea whether it'll be good or not, but like Corrupting Fever can be made pretty good. So maybe this is okay. Add a new support gem, Trauma Support. This lets any strike skill act like the only strike skill that's good right now. I don't know whether I want to call this a smart solution or a lazy solution. It's one of those, But either way, it's definitely going to make a whole bunch more strike skills actually viable. You could argue that it's viable in a very lazy way, but supported skills deal additional physical damage per trauma, but also make you take physical damage per trauma. Yep. That's right. Trauma supports the strike skill you use yourself, causing you to gain trauma. Yep. Wait. Support skill causing you to gain trauma the first time a supported attack hits an enemy. Oh. 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 Oh, never mind. This is garbage. Ignore it. Pretend that didn't get added. I've changed my mind. Well, I mean, we weren't using multi-strike on Bone Shatter anyway, but so many of the strike skills do want to use. You know what? I actually don't know. I feel like I'm just going to ask Khan if this works. Well, let's ask somebody who knows what the fuck they're talking about with melee. That's fine. It might be fine. It might not be. I literally don't know. I'm not going to play melee even if you added a 0 to the end of its DPS. So whatever. Add a new strength support gem, volatility. Causing them to deal more maximum damage and less minimum damage. Okay. Specific numbers required. Specific numbers required, please. Probably useful, but specific numbers required, please. And a new strength int support gem. Flame wood. Support skills that summons totems, triggering avenge flame with a totem that gets hit by an enemy. Right, that one. Fires a mortar up in the air which falls down on the target and deals area damage where they land. This one is actually pretty interesting because this is going to be trash in a normal totem build. This isn't a totem build, like a normal standard totem build support that you just slap in. But that doesn't make it not a build. It might be a build. Again, numbers. But that could be a build. What would amuse me the most is if there's a legitimate like taunt totem build. Like a legitimate, like you drop decoy totems and you get multiple of them and you've supported them with this stuff and you just run around with decoy totems intentionally getting hit. Would be hilarious. Good or not, I don't know, but funny. Added a new strength and support gems. Guardian Blessing must support both skills that create minions which can be damaged and an aura skill that creates a permanent aura around you. Supported aura skills have no reservation and count as a blessing skill. They cannot apply auras on you unless you have minions from a supported skill. But these minions take a percentage of their maximum life as physical damage per second while you have an aura from the supported skill on you. Huh. Okay, so that's interesting. In relation specifically to Poison SRS, I don't think we'll use this. But it really depends on the numbers. Like if it's not going to hurt them as much as I can give them regen, especially these minions take a percentage of their maximum life. So it depends. It really depends on how the numbers work. But for Poison SRS, I don't think we use this, but this seems really interesting. I could see this used other times. I could definitely see this used other times. Added new dexterity support gems, returning projectiles. We've already seen the damage numbers on this. We haven't seen the level 20 version, so I don't know how much it scales, but if it's not like... Basically, it needs to get to 0 from -70 for me to want to use it. Which I don't see happening. Even maybe -10 I could maybe put up with. But like, otherwise you're still giving up an entire support, so it's not really -10, right? Like, it's not positive. It'll be a 6th gem, so usually like 30% more. You're losing a whole 30% more if you also take 70% less on the return and losing the 30% more on the forward. Even if it's -30, it's not enough. It's not good enough to be bothered using. But if it goes up to near 0, it might compete with chain and fork, which is probably where it should be. And instead you'll have to make a decision between return, chain, and fork, specifically with bows. So hopefully it scales up to there around the 0 mark at level 20. But if it doesn't, don't worry about it. If it doesn't, don't worry about it early. Eventually you can get so much damage that even if it's still -30 or 40, it won't matter. And this probably still gives you the best overall coverage. It just won't be like an early support when you still need the damage. It might be something we use later to get like god tier clear when we've got good gear. But we'll see. Added a new dexterity strength support gem. Sadism? Supports any skills that hit enemy, causing damaging ailments inflicted by them to deal damage faster, but causes inflicted ailments of less duration. Scales to -50. Actually, you might be right. It needs. I think it needs to go to -50. This, at worst. I think 50 was what I was looking at that I wanted. Yeah. I want it to go at level 20 to -50. That was the number I wanted. Because we're still missing some things. Alright. And supported skills hit by enemy, causing damaging ailments to deal damage faster, but causing inflicted ailments of less duration. Less duration? Okay, so this is not ideal for anything poison related, because technically we want those to stack. But anything bleed or ignite related, less duration isn't really a big deal, because you can only have one instance, or in some cases if you spec into it, up to 8, but you can very easily replace the stacks if they disappear quicker, because there's like a cap. Whereas poison has an infinite amount of stacks, so giving it less duration is horrible. Inflicting damage faster doesn't mean more damage, just more DPS. Alright, this is fine. This is fine. There's definitely going to be some ignite builds that use this and some bleed builds, especially bleed builds. Added a new in-gem locust mine, supports attacks that use bows or wands that fire projectiles ahead. Instead, using that skill will throw a mine in an arc that uses skill for you, targeting your location when you detonate. Okay. We'll see. I don't know. I don't have any opinion on this. I have no idea what this is. I have no idea what the build I make with this is, but it's been 5 years since we played Kinetic Blast Mines. Maybe it's that again. Supports attack skills that use bows or wands. Okay. Added a new int support gem, Frigid Bond, sports link, sports skill damage, and chills enemy. Oh yeah. This is the link one that was shown earlier this week. I have a big suspicion that this is going to be trash, but I'm pretty sure that me and a friend during the league sometime are going to like fresh start 2 characters, like fake fresh start, and just try and duo level with this link skill just as a meme to see how horrible it goes. This will not be a league start plan, but it's happening. It's gonna be bad. All right. Added a new intellect support gem, fresh meat created. Oh, what creates created minions? Minions created by supported skill gain Waken, Fury, and Adrenaline for 10% of their duration, up to a maximum of 10 seconds. Yo, this is what I was worried about. I was worried that if SRS got Adrenaline for like 3 seconds, it wouldn't be long enough to be usable. And that I needed 6 to 10 seconds-ish for it to be good. So I'm going to need to work out what the duration of SRS is when fully spec'd, because it's a lot longer than like when you look at the gem. It's a lot longer than when you look at the gem, so we're going to have to look at that. I need it to be 6 seconds or so to make it good, is my theory. So I'm going to need to try and get the duration to 60 seconds. We'll have to see if that's worth doing or not. But if it's something we can achieve, then this will be really good. If not, if it's under that, if we can, even at 4 seconds, it might be okay, but that's going to be we're going to have to play with it to know whether it's worth using or not at that point. Whereas I'm confident if I can get it to 6 seconds that it does win and it makes it into my build. If I can't get it to 6, if it's stuck at 4 or something, then that's going to be a play. We're going to need to know what that is. Like, we're going to have to play it and test it, because that's in the questionable region. All right. Intelligence support gem. Sacrifice. Supported spell skills that deal damage with hits and have no reservation. These skills sacrifice a percentage of current life to gain additional chaos damage based on how much life was sacrificed. Cannot support orbs, brands, or channeling skills, spell skills, or skills used by traps or mines. Cannot modify. I'm sorry. Added a new int support gem, Sacrifice. Supports spell skills that deal damage with hits and have no reservation. These spells sacrifice a percentage of your life to gain additional chaos damage based on how much life was sacrificed. Excuse me? Cannot support orb skills, brands, channel skills, vial skills, or skills used by traps or mines. Cannot modify the skills of minions. It doesn't say totems. Cannot support orb, brand, channel, vial, or skills used by traps or mines. Cannot modify the skills of minions. It doesn't say totems. Okay. This could be a mistake. If it's not and it works with totems, it will either use your totem's life or it'll use your life when you summon the totem. Either way is fine with me. Again, numbers needed, but that could be interesting. That could be quite good. Added an enemy in support gem, Spellblade. Supported spells that hit enemies, causing them to have added spell damage equal to a percentage of the damage of a one-handed melee weapon. 2 weapons are equipped. If 2 weapons are equipped, each contribute 60% as much added damage. So if you dual wield one-handers, you get 120% effect. But you give up a shield. Honestly, that's probably not worth dual wielding. You're probably still going to have a shield on. Get like +1 level to your skill or whatever, and some crit and whatever. But this could be... It could be good. numbers specific, but it's very interesting. If they got the numbers right, people will use that. For sure. One-hander, though. Equipped one-handed melee weapon. Added new inter-deck support gem, Devour. Supports any skills that hits enemies. Killing bros from supporting skills consume corpses to recover life and mana. So it doesn't have a damage component at all. So I'm not sure about that at all. Oh, that's an interesting point. Spellblade could potentially work with Energy Blade. Doesn't Energy Blade have a flat melee on it as well as... Yeah, that should... Maybe? That could be cool. Alright, I don't know who's using the Devourer skill, but it ain't me. 15 new uniques. One made by the winner of the Crucible Boss Kill event. Cool. 2 divination cards. Cool. 2 Keystone Passive. Extreme. Ah, this is the good one. 200% explosive radius. 100% placement. Spawn with additional 10% life. Number of explosives 1. Cool. Added a new Atlas Spencer Keystone Lucid Dream. Valside areas in the maps are no longer corrupted. I think they teased this at ExileCon. And I'm not like entirely sure why or what the benefit is of this. Except that you can roll your Valside area. And I'm just not entirely sure why. But okay. Add a new Keystone Destructive Play, which grants the Maven summons 1 to 3 additional bosses when witnessing the map. Yep, okay. We saw this one teased as well. Might actually be pretty good. Certainly pretty decent to farm Maven, I'm sure. Someone's probably done the math on how much better already, but if you're a Maven enjoyer, that's certainly going to work. A new Keystone All Hands, which grants your maps have a 40% chance to contain a random mastering cap. 40%? Modifiers to chance to spawn an additional master mission on map completion. Instead, apply to a chance for that master to be randomly encountered in your map at 150% of their value. Your maps do not grant master missions when completed. Huh. Huh. I think I love that. This is potentially really good. This is potentially really, really good. Okay. Now I need to know where it is. I need to look at the whole passive tree. All right. Add a new Atlas Peacecoon. Cassia's Pride. Monsters in your map take 75% less damage from players and their minions, and Blight Towers and their minions in your map deal 300% more damage. This would be such a cool node if it worked on blighted maps, but it's only going to work on the blights inside your maps, which if you're already in a map, you're probably capable of just killing the blight on your own. Therefore, this is worthless. I kind of wish I could get this keystone in my blighted maps, though. I think that would be really, really cool. Like, I love this idea. I just think that when it only affects the blights inside my map, it might not actually be worth taking. Added a new Atlas Keystone, Speaker of the Dead, which grants tormented spirits in your map can possess players for 20 seconds. Tormented spirits in your map cannot possess monsters. This is the first time... Yo, This is the first time I've ever seen anything that says tormented spirits and not been just like a little bit angry inside about why tormented spirits even exist still. That's actually kind of cool. And I might play with it at some point. I might play with it at some point. It might be good. It might be good. It might be like shrines, except ghosts. It might be like shrines except ghosts. Like shrines but different. I don't know. I don't know. That might be cool. I'm probably going to test that. I'm probably going to test it like relatively early, like within the first few days. These might be shrines from Wish, but that's fine. All right, out of the new Keystone passive, Endless Tide, which grants beyond portals in your map cannot spawn unique bosses, and beyond portals in your map have 50% less merging radius. That's fine. That's fine. I can do that. I can do that all day. I'll do that all day. All day. You made beyond useful. Fuck me. Holy shit. Oh my god. Yes. 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 Edge me harder. Oh. Okay. So that's actually fantastic. That's actually fantastic. I don't need to read the rest of these. No, I'm done. This is it. This is everything I ever wanted in my life. All right. Out of the new Alice Keystone, arbitrary tenants, which grants favors at ritual altars in your map randomly cost between. Wait, what? Hang on. 50% less is a lot. No, 50% less merging radius will be really, really bad if your map isn't juiced. But they can only merge so much anyway. And if you're juicing and like deliriuming and you've got mobs everywhere, the merging radius being reduced won't have that big of an impact because there'll be so many mobs anyway that it won't matter. It will be quite bad in like an average Alkan Go map because you'll barely spawn any Beyonds. But in the kind of map I want to run, fantastic. Fantastic. All right, anyway, which grants favors at your ritual altars in your map randomly cost between 90% less and 80% more. Okay, look, when you find a Mage Blood or a Headhunter in your ritual, which is already so rare, do you want to double the lottery and have a chance at it being anywhere from nearly free to nearly double what it should have cost? I don't know, man. Like, technically, overall, like numbers wise, 90% less, 80% more randomly. This is a buff. Everything costs 10% less over the course of an infinite amount of time. But like averaged over the course of an infinite amount of time, everything is 10% less, right? But that's you taking quite the gamble. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. Animal's Keystone. Immutable Dogma, which grants cannot re-roll favors on the ritual altar in your map. Monsters sacrificed grant 100% more tribute. I don't know enough ritual to know for sure, but I feel like even if you're getting literally double the tribute, not being able to reroll feels bait to me. Because I very often, if I was going to do ritual, I would usually be taking that one that lets me reroll more than once. Because usually you want to be more picky, you want to reroll more and pick just the good things. So I'm not sure about that. Layaways, yep. The main use case might be that you lock in that mage blood and then spec into this and then run maps to buy it. Okay, that's actually a good idea. If you do happen to get a mirror mage blood headhunter, something big and expensive, and you've locked it away in your ritual, this could help you get it significantly faster. That's a pretty good use case. I like that. Added a new Atlas passive skill, Unending Nightmare, which grants Delirium fobs in your map never dissipate. Goated. Great. Well, actually, it's not goated anymore. The Beyond one is, but this is still pretty good. It's still pretty good. I'll still use it. This one's goat, and then this one up here is goat with the sauce. All right. Timeless Conflict, which grants Legion encounters in your map have no timer. This one's terrible. I stand by it. Added a new Keystone passive, Crop Rotation, which grants harvest crops in your map contain only tier 1 plants. Harvesting crops in your map have a chance to upgrade the tier of plants of different colors. What? Hang on. Harvest crops in your map contain only tier 1 plants. Okay, that's fine. Harvesting crops in your maps have a chance to upgrade the tier of plants of different colors. So almost like leapfrogging it. We're going to walk in and we're going to be like, oh, I really want that. Let's just say I really want that yellow juice. And I'm going to go over to, there's like 2 plants in my garden that have yellow juice I'm real excited about. I want the yellow juice, but I go to the other gardens first, pick the purple there and the blue over there and the purple over there on that one, and hope that those ones increase the tier of the yellow one that I wanted at the end. It feels weird, might be good. I'm gonna need someone smart to tell me whether or not to use that. Feels like too much thinking for a brain like me. That's too much thinking. I like to do all of my thinking outside of the game in Path of Building, where I'm doing all the planning. I don't like to do any of my thinking while I'm actively playing. That's thinking happens early, and then when playing, that's the time for brain off and murder, and then you think later separately. I don't want to do this. Added a new keystone, Bold Undertaking, which grants Fortune Favors the Brave, applies an additional random option. 100% more cost to Fortune Favors the Brave. Double fortune? I don't know about this league specifically, but some leagues, fortune favors the brave is huge. Quite often, fortune favors the brave is huge. And in some strats, we use fortune favors the brave because it gives that quant bonus from the tree. And if I can get two, that's actually pretty cool. I like that. Added a new keystone, overload circuit, switch grants, league map crafting option also chooses 3 random notable Atlas passive skills associated with that league to treat as allocated. So does this mean like if I pick Essence, for instance, if I pick Essence and I don't have any nodes put in Essence, it'll just give me 3 of these notables, like Essence or a tier higher, or this one, or this one, or this one, and pretend they're allocated for this map. And if so, does this work in conjunction with Fortune Favors the Brave? Because that might actually be great. Because if I can double Fortune into 2 league mechanics and have both those league mechanics have things allocated to them, we would end up paying like 12 CMAP probably. But it might actually be worth it and fun and have a varied playstyle every single map, like varied content every map. And that could be cool. Which grants league map crafting options. And 100% cost of map crafting option. Yeah, so that is 100% more and 100% more. So it'll be 200% more. So fortune is 4. So 12. Yeah. That could be interesting. That could be interesting if it works with fortune favors the brave and I can like double brave. I might play that. If it doesn't, I probably don't. If it doesn't do that, I probably don't do it. Fortune's 3, isn't it? If fortune's 3, then it's 9. Unless they're separate, more multipliers. Yeah, they might be separate like everything else. Then it will be 12 anyway. Who knows? I don't know, man. If that works with fortune, I want to play a whole bunch of fortune favors the brave stuff, because that would be cool. 2 random things that have allocations. That would be cool. I would play that. Added a new keystone passive, Meticulous Appraiser, which grants modifiers to quantity of items found in your map. Instead, apply to rarity of items found in your map at 300% of their value. Huh. Huh. Hmm. The 300% of their value is the thing that gives me pause. I don't know. The answer is I don't know. This needs testing. This could be very interesting. This definitely needs testing. Add a new Atlas Keystone, the 7th grace, which grants all possible league map crafting options are available. All possible league map crafting options are available while 6 gateways are allocated. Aren't there only 6 gateways? Luckily, you only have to get to 3 of them because you can, as soon as you get to one, you can just allocate the other. That's a lot of points. That's a lot of points on your tree, but all possible league map crafting options are available. So anything you want, I can just put beyond on every map. Yeah, beyond, metamorph, heist, whatever thing you want. Whatever thing you, that might harvest there, yep. It could, that could be, that. I actually don't like this. I've changed, no, I've decided this is terrible. Because you just made every league the same for anyone who cares to do the exact same thing. Having rotating Kirak mods doesn't matter anymore. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't think I like that. Okay. Holding alt and currency, a stackable fragment will show the amount of that in the area. Yep, cool. Continually incrementally improve down art affects environment. Sure. Forbidden Sanctum has been added to the core. You'll initially meet in Act 10. Cool. There's a maximum area level of 83. Sure. Forbidden Tomes, which are going to be the way we trade them. Okay. Next one is generated as a tradable item. The state of your Sanctum built in, including boons, afflictions, and relics. Cool. Relics have also returned and are now tradable. They'll be locked in at the beginning of the first Sanctum floor and cannot be changed for the remainder of the Sanctum run. So presumably this means that they get traded with the Sanctum you're currently running. Okay. Completing the Forbidden Sanctum run now requires the killing of both her first and second form. It will always drop a unique relic, which have also been reworked and replaced as we rebalance the Forbidden Sanctum. Okay. Primary defense now have some effect protecting your resolve. Right. So armor provides some mitigation from enemy hits, evasions, a chance to avoid ailment loss. Energy shield provides you with a resolve Aegis, which is a mechanic that behaves similarly to how energy shield. Sure. Alright. The difficulty of Forbidden Sanctum has been increased, especially in the later floors. Monsters generally have more life and deal slightly more resolve damage. Alright. Rare monsters can now be found within the Forbidden Sanctum, and completing a room now requires killing all rare monsters present. Okay. So no more skip that room. No more rooms where you just go, oh, this room's just run. Sweet. Not know that anymore. Monsters in the Forbidden Sanctum are immune to damage if there are no players within 100 units. That's made some things a bit harder for most. I don't think most people will notice this, but some stuff where you're like, oh, we're off screening around the corner for safety reasons, will be pretty heavily affected by that. 100 units is still a pretty large area. Most people are not going to notice this. This is going to be like This is going to be like people who are intentionally like off-screening around corner things. That's fine. Boons and afflictions have been reviewed and balanced. Also added new boons and afflictions. Sure. So minor afflictions that cause monsters to have knockback have been removed. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna like not read for 3 minutes. Something Twitch Prime. Also added a new relic modifier for some of the new defense mechanics. Also added more hazards. More hazards and room variety. Yo, that was one of the things we wanted. Was like more variety in the rooms we got. That's cool. The Forbidden Sanctum has also been adjusted for Ruthless. No one cares. No one cares. The 8 people who were doing it in Ruthless, those people care. Alright. Atlas changes. The following maps have been added back into the Atlas. Academy, Acid Caverns, Arena, Basilica, Bazaar, Bog, Cage, Carcass, Channel, Courthouse, Dark Forest, Estuary, Forking River, Glacier. Yo, Glacier. Grave Trough. Graveyard. Haunted Mansion, Iceberg, Ivory Temple, Lava Chambers, Lava Lake, Lookout, Mausoleum, Mesa, Mud Geyser, Palace, Pen, Reef, Spider Forest, Summit, Sunken City, Vault, and Waterways. Have been added back in. Okay. Sure. The following maps have been removed. The following maps have been removed. Arid Lake, Armory, Arsenal, Belfry, Canyon, Conservatory, Coral Ruins, Core, Crater, Crimson Township, Crystal Ore, Defiled Cathedral, Desert Spring, Dig, Dry Sea Fields, Forbidden Woods, Foundry, Grotto, Jungle Valley, no! Laboratory, Lair, Lighthouse, Marshes, Overgrown Ruin, Plaza, Ramparts, Relic Chambers, Scriptorium, Shipyard, Shrine, Toxic Sewer and Waste Pool. Toxic Sewer and Waste Pool? Ah, that's rough. Look, I was not going to run either of them, but that's still pretty rough. Blight Farmers in shambles. Core, Toxic Sewer and Waste Pool. Where do you go now? I'm mostly sad about Jungle Valley being gone. I'm not going to lie, I had every intention of Jungle Valleying. That was what was going to happen. Not anymore. Map tiers and locations have been shuffled. Sure, some of the map bosses are required. Yep, they've changed some shit, changed some crafting stuff, moved some cards around. One ant can now be found in the channel map. Unique maps are no longer offered as missions when re-rolling Kirak missions with an Explorer's Scout report. Guys, why? Why? Sextant modifier that causes this is proof that like Kirak is just becoming worse and worse and worse. I want Zana back. Give me Zana back. Sextant modifier that causes the final map boss of each map to drop an additional Shaper Guardian, Elder Guardian, or Conqueror Guardian map has been changed to drop upon completing your map. Damn. Okay. Hadn't said anything just in case, but I won't have been the only person who thought about it. The Maven makes your map have 1 to 3 additional bosses. I was really hoping we could abuse the shit out of that with. because part of the mod on that specifically said all modifiers that affect the boss in your map will also affect these, which like it didn't work if you just like ran a twinned map. But because of that modifier, I was actually kind of hoping that this one would just slip through and would work. It looks like they hit it. It looks like they hit it. So in other words, it did work. In other words, someone there thought of it. It did work. And they went, no. So fair enough. Fair enough. When adding the new Lucid Dream Keystone and the Atlas passives, we all took a review of the side areas in maps and modifiers present on them. All modifiers except one no longer grant additional packs of corrupted Val monsters. This has been moved to an implicit modifier instead. The modifiers with upsides no longer have increased quantity or item corruption chance, unless that is the only thing they do. Okay. Modifiers with downsides no longer have variable item corruption chance. A fixed value. Okay, sure. All side areas can no longer roll regular map modifiers. Okay. Add extra monsters and now modifiers that add extra monsters and now suffixes. The explicit item corruption chance modifier has been removed. Value provided by modifiers has been rebalanced. Nerfed. Modifier, including one that calls Val vessels to contain an additional level 21 corrupted gem. Alright. Map bosses in corrupted maps no longer have the corrupted tag and no longer drop additional Val items. Really? Why? Why? Val temples can no longer be obtained outside of corruption. Val side areas of divination cards. Quick question. Wasn't that already the only ways we got them? Beastcraft. Obtained from Einhard's memory. The harvest beef created. Oh. Oh. The created a Val Temple map now creates the synthesis unique map. Oh, okay. Alright. Doesn't. Alright, whatever. We've also added 3 new unique Val side areas. Happy hunting. Listen, generally speaking, I don't walk into Val side areas even on day 1. If I got that, I'd do it. And if I see a unique, I'll do it. So, maybe good. Uh-oh. Shaping of the Seas, Shaping of the Valley, Atlas nodes have been removed from the Atlas tree. And the new Bold Undertaking and Overload Circus Cruisers have taken their position. Wait. Shaping the Seas and Valley. Which one's which? Are they these two? I hope they're these two. No! No, they're these two! Oh no! No, my fortune! Oh. Oh no. My 10% quant rarity and pack size? Oh no. Oh, that's rough. Ah, there are now 6 passives. This costs the previous 5. And maps has a 5%. Okay, look. I mean, we got a bunch of the plus back, but not my pack size and everything. Added a new map cluster to the Atlas passive skill tree is the notable shaping the world. Added new map clusters, shaping the world, partially compensating for loss. Final map in each has a 5% chance to drop an additional connected map. Maps have 10% chance to be hider. Yep, sure. Where? Where? I need to see it. Beyond cluster, there are 3 notables in this cluster. Swarm Hive grants beyond... Added new beyond cluster. 3 notables in this cluster. Swarming Hive grants beyond demons in your map have a 100% increased chance to be followers of Katash. And 30% more divination cards from beyond monsters in your maps. What? I've got such an erection. What? Excuse me. 30% more divination cards from beyond monsters in your maps that are followers of Katash. Hail Carrion grants beyond demons in your map a 1% chance to be followers of Biadat? Bidet? Bidet? I'm going to call him Bidet. I've decided. I know that's not how it's spelt, but I'm calling it Bidet. 30% more basic currency item found from beyond monsters in your maps that are followers of Bidet. And Vigorous Thong grants beyond demons in your maps a 100% chance to be followers of Gore. 30% more unique items from beyond demons in your maps that are following Gore's 4 clusters. Each grant 5% increased quantity of items dropped from beyond demons in your map. Oh. Guys, is there a chance I'm going to be able to kill mobs for loot this league? Is there a chance I'm going to be able to kill mobs for loot instead of hunt reward tiles? Because that's all I've been asking for since Lake of Calandra is just... I just want to be able to kill mobs for loot instead of hunt reward tiles. Please? Please? Added a new Tormented cluster. Okay, now grants your maps are haunted by an additional Tormented spirit. An additional, alright, and they have an extra 75% duration. It doesn't matter, they die. Their duration has never been the problem. Their AI and their health is. Are we addressing that somewhere? I hope so. The Valside area cluster grants unique bosses in Valside areas in your map deal 30% more damage, and unique bosses in Valside areas in your maps have 100% more life. Valside does your map a 20% chance for rewards from Val vessels to be duplicated. Sure. Okay, whatever. Another adjacent mob chance, small atlas passive added. And hunting season. To make space for sure. Okay. Construct. Blight towers and their minions deal 20% more damage. Instead, now have blight monsters in maps take 12% increased damage. Okay. Sure. Delirium in your map. New small passives go deliriums in your map increase 5% faster with the distance from the mirror, and dissipates 4% slower have been removed. Oh, okay. Well, that doesn't matter. My fog's permanent now, so whatever. It's unraveling notables. Swap location. Okay. Some other Atlas passive skills have been moved to make room for new locations and clusters. Sure. All right. I'm gonna need to look at like the actual whole thing. Seeing it is important, but I'm getting excited so far. It feels like there's a chance I might be able to kill mobs for loot again. And I loved that. Loved it. Legion. Timeless Conflict now has a minimum area level of 80. Okay. Specific timeless emblems no longer provide area levels. Okay. Additional area levels are now added based on the number of emblems used. 4 emblems increases the area level by 1 and 5 increases by 2. Okay. Each emblem increases the level by 0.5 rounding down. Meaning with 5, the maximum area level is 84. Okay. The 20% experience gained for each timeless emblem has been removed. Each unrelenting timeless emblem now adds 10% increased experience gain, previously 20. It is now okay. Each timeless and unrelenting timeless now adds 15% more monster life, previously 10. And now also adds 10% increased monster damage. Alright. Gonna be honest. I don't think it matters. I don't think this matters. Maybe running 5 ways purely for XP is like I think it matters in the way of like, oh, if you wanted to just get a 5-way carry to level 100, that's probably going to take what, 3 or 4 times as long or something. But like, that should never have been a thing to begin with, and I hate that it's a thing to begin with, and I wish you couldn't do it at all. So I'm happy with that. The number of monster kills required to gain a Delirium ward in the following maps has been increased. No, my Crimson. Is it going to give me Crimson Township? It is. It's in here, isn't it? To be more consistent with other maps. Bramble Valley, Cold River, Crimson Township. Dry Sea, Forbidden Woods, Foundry, Frozen Cabins, Silo, and Stagnation. This is the only one that mattered. That's the only one that mattered. Crimson Township isn't in this league anyway. They removed it, but that is still the only one that mattered for it. That'll just matter moving forward, not this league. Tormented spirits now have 20% more life per level from level 55, scaling up to 560% more life at level 83. That's helpful, actually. They now have a tapering less damage taken buff, which activates upon entering their range and eventually scales down to no damage reduction after 15 seconds. Okay. Okay. For every enemy the Tormented Spirit touches, it increases the damage the spirit takes by 5%. We don't need that. Their AI has also changed quite considerably. Spirits now more aggressively touch monsters that aren't already touched, and more aggressively possess rare and unique monsters. Spirit predators is what we're calling them from now on. No explanation will be given. Stats that add tormented spirits to an area now all consistently describe it as haunted by instead of sometimes contained. I'm going to be honest, I didn't notice that it was ever different. But all right. Ascendancy balance. Harmony of purpose no longer provides. I don't want to read. We already know all that. And we already know all that. Ah. Guardian no longer provides 20%. So this is the Ascendant Guardian. No longer provides anything. It now provides auras from your skills grant 3% increased life recovery rate, mana, and energy shield to you and your allies if you've attacked recently. And your nearby allies have a 10% chance to block attack damage. Cast a spell recently. Okay. It provides every 4 seconds. Now provides every 4 seconds regenerate 50% of your life over 1 second, previously 20. Huh. Alright, Chieftain no longer provides 40% fire damage, regen, or any of the normal things it used to do. It now provides totems taunt enemies around them for 2 seconds when summoning, unaffected by ignite, and 10% increased strength. That's not on Chieftain anymore. Now look, I'm happy it's there because strength stacking. But the percent strength isn't on Chieftain anymore. But okay. Oops. Don't drop things. Alright, cool. Occultist. Due to a discovery of a bug where Frigid Rake was incorrectly using a fixed duration freeze, caused it not be affected by freeze duration modifiers. We made the below change. The described bug has also been fixed. Frigid Rake no longer has every 4 seconds 33% chance to fill near enemies for 0.6 seconds. Or every 4 seconds freeze enemy nearby chilled enemies and non-uniques. It now has every 4 seconds 50% chance to freeze nearby non-frozen enemies. Okay. Okay, sure. That shirt looks very tight on you. I mean, it's very much not. We've got a screenshot of the difference. The Chieftain and Guardian from the teasers to now. Okay, this is much better to read. Recoup 25% of damage taken by your totems as life, up from 10. Okay. An extra line. Ah, in a large radius also grant +3 to strength. Okay. Enemies in your link beam have -20 to all elemental resist. Okay. Through the lucky elemental damage with this. Alright. And now provides 25%. Good. They added the thing. 25% chance to trigger level 20 summon elemental relic when you kill a nearby. When you or a nearby ally kill an enemy or hit a rare or unique enemy. Yo! Huge. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, passive tree. I'm going to go ahead and just not really read the passive skill changes, because reading the passive skill changes in this format instead of just looking at them when we have a passive skill tree to look at is horrible. Magnetic Strike notable passive skill no longer grants gain 10% of physical damage as extra fire, and instead now provides every 10 seconds gain 30% of physical as extra fire for 4 seconds. Why would you make it worse? Why would you do that? Why? Why? Stop it. No one enjoys this. No one. No one enjoys this ever. The rotating buffs, things that you have to like do that shit. No one enjoys it. Stop. Right. Anything else? I mean, Vengeance Cascade was always going to be gone as soon as we saw the thing. Vengeance Cascade Anoint. Passive skill no longer provides 15% increase in speed. Attack skills return to you or returning projectiles pierce all targets. Instead, it now provides returning projectiles have 150% increased speed. Really? Really? Okay. Dirty Technique no longer provides 10% damage over time multi for all ailments. It now causes ailments to deal damage 15% faster. Previously 10. Prior both now cause 5% faster. Previously 15% duration. Huh. Quality on anomalous faster projectile support now grants projectiles from supported skills have a 0 to 10% chance to return. Previously 0 to 60. The timeless dual exclusive strength of the blood keystone no longer provides 1% less damage taken. It now provides 2% additional physical damage reduction every 3% life recovery per second from leech. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. The totems taunt enemies around you for 1 second when summoned. Totem mastery has been replaced with 1% of physical attack damage dealt by your totems is leached to you as life. That's interesting. I gotta just come back up here real quick to look at, where is it? This one, this node, just like a special note to whoever made this note and decided this change happened. This is some Diablo shit. We're not that game. Can we stop doing shit like this? Please, for the love of God. This is some Diablo shit. Don't do it. Just give me this back. You know what? Also, if you thought this was too strong, halve it. Give me 5%. I mean, just don't give me this every 10 seconds for 4 seconds. You can do this. Like, stop doing the conditional shit. I don't mind conditionals, but not conditional based on a rotating time frame that I'm not in control of. If it's like when bled or when focused or when ignited, like those kind of conditions, those are fine. Some like rotating time period where I don't even have control is not fun, engaging, interesting, rewarding, anything. It's not good in any way. No one's ever enjoyed it. It's trash. I don't want it. Temporal Change Gem now has other cursed enemies. You were so close! That was so close to the correct thing! How bad is that for SRS? Almost unnoticeable. Almost unnoticeable. We were at dot cap before, and now it will take a little tiny bit more DPS to get to dot cap before. Whatever. I'll summon skeletons. Now summons one skeletal mage at level 1, previously 0. Scaling up to 5, whatever. If dual wielding, when using whirling blades, now attack with both weapons. Sure, whatever. Ruthless support now causes ruthless blows with supported skills to deal more damage with ailments caused by melee hits. Previously more damage with bleeding caused by melee hits. Okay, sure. Combustion support is now an int strength hybrid attribute requirement instead of pure intelligence. Okay. Unseen strike triggered by the Hidden Blade unique dagger no longer has a cooldown of half a second. Huh. Huh. Sorry, I have notifications turned off, but thank you. This is interesting. This is interesting. I'll be surprised if there isn't a really cool looking build within the first week of the league that uses this. Added an orb tag to the Cremation Skill Gem. Okay. So this is something. Like, this is a nerf to our Poison SRS build and all Poison builds, realistically. But we're able to get so far over dot cap that this probably won't matter in the long run. It'll just make the really early parts a little bit harder. Like, it'll be a little worse damage, like, right at the beginning. But we already had plenty of it. So for Poison SRS, we don't really care. It will just be hitting the poison cap a little later on. But this might affect other builds. Average Warpath, blah blah blah. Now summon skeletons. Cannot summon more than one skeletal warrior. This change affects existing version of the item. Skeleton warriors are permanent and follow you. Modifier. For clarity, this affects the number of skeletal warriors summoned with each cast, not the maximum number of skeletal warriors you can have summoned at once. The Errant Warpath unique boot now also has summon skeletons, cannot summon more than one skeletal warrior. This change will affect the existing versions of an item. Summon skeletal warriors are permanent and follow you. Okay. I kind of want to... Huh. That's odd. Okay, sure, whatever. The Delve exclusive shield prefix modifier 3% to max can no longer roll. Oh no. Ailed modifier, which grants the duration of ailments you inflict while focus value has been lowered to 40%, previously 90%. Crafted versions have been adjusted accordingly. That's a huge nerf. Again, Poison SRS doesn't give a shit, but that's a huge nerf to some other people to go with the temp change thing as well. Last modifiers that grant a percentage of life recovery to minions now grant much higher values to a coin for minimalized scaling values than players, particularly in the endgame. Previously ranged from 51 to 80, now ranges from 100 to 200. Okay, cool. I think that needs to be about 500 for me to warrant using it, but sure. Crucible skill that you cause totems to explode on death, dealing a percentage of their life as physical damage, has had its value divided by 20. I knew it was getting a nerf. I didn't know it was going to be that. That's 95% less damage. I know it was strong. I know it was strong. I thought you were going to maybe give it like 60% less damage or something. I didn't divide it by 20? That's 95% less. Okay, look, you know what? I only play in leagues anyway. I was never going to play standards, so this doesn't affect me. But that's a lot. Like, that's a lot. That's a bit excessive, actually. But okay. Alright. Eternal Labyrinth now grants Ascendancy passive skill points in... What? Ruthless characters. I don't give a fuck about Ruthless. Oh, Ruthless specific changes. Okay. Hang on, I'm not even halfway through the fucking page. Hold the phone, I'm not even halfway through the page. This is all still Ruthless. Monster balance. Okay, this is where it matters again. Okay, just real quick. Small side project doesn't take very much development time. Listen, guys, I love you. I really love you. We've been on fire for a year now. Maybe spend less fucking time on Ruthless. I love you. Maybe spend less fucking time on Ruthless, okay? Alright. Stun immunity has been removed from bosses in Path of Exile. Sorry? Excuse me? This includes, but is not limited to, Itziri, Argus, Val Omnitech, Betrayal targets. Some bosses have specific skills that can't be stunned or interrupted, and Kataba can still not be stunned. Sorry? Shaper, Guardian, Elders now drop far fewer influenced items on death. I feel like this is half a patch notes. This is good. Now drops far fewer influenced items. But those influenced items will be on average higher level bases. Like the better bases. So you can still give us like items we want. But not 2 screens worth of items. Right? Slightly increases the outcome for tainted currency from beyond bosses and slightly reduces the outcome of that odds from other bosses. Sure, I don't care. I'm after cards now. You're giving me more cards. You can keep your tainted currency. I don't care. Monsters are unable to be damaged or targeted and no longer... Monsters that are unable to be damaged or targeted no longer regenerate life or energy shield or recharge energy shield. Good change, actually. Good change, actually. Kataba skeletons in a Belfry boss arena now spawn as magic instead of rare. Bad change. Bad change, actually. The temporal chain skill used by monsters now causes other effect on cursed enemies to expire 25% slower. Okay, they got the nerf we did. Cool. 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 We already know these. This is just telling us where all the gems drop. Visibility highlighting improved the visibility of highlighted nodes when searching the Atlas passive tree. I'm not gonna lie, I quite often type out shit and can't see it, so thanks. The craft button on the bench UI is now disabled if that craft would fail. Okay. Best objectives of the minimap icon are now the same size on the corner map as they are in the overlay map. I don't even remember what the corner map looks like, so fair enough. Updated the Keurig mission window that is displayed with no available message, less confusing, sure. We don't lose random bugged maps. Sure. Usually it's because you can't spell properly and we can't fix that. Yeah, fair enough. Item filter changes. That's just changing some subclasses. That's not important for anyone to know except Neversink. Fixed a bug where some breach monsters had roughly 25% more life than they should when inspected. Okay. No, the grafting more was able to pull players to invalid locations. That very rarely happened, but it was also hilarious. Good bug fix, but sad. I don't see anything for Willems, so pretty happy about that. Unless title one that taunted them, sure. Fixed a long-standing bug where the visual indicator of the explosive radius of expedition was smaller than it should have been compared to what markers were highlighted. This is purely a visual change. Okay. They made that sound like you're going to be exploding in a slightly larger radius, like they fixed it so that it's... But that's not actually... The circle's going to look smaller. You're actually going to blow up the exact same amount you used to. Because there used to be this little tiny gap around the outside where it actually didn't blow up the thing. Sometimes you'd be like just fitting in a stick and then it wouldn't blow up. Or the reverse of that? Is it the reverse of that? You'd actually hit things that weren't highlighted? Okay, I don't think I've ever hit something that wasn't highlighted. Is that a problem? Visual indicator was smaller than it should have been. Oh, I see. All right. Okay. Thank you, chat. I'm understanding. Right. I've never accidentally blown something up because it highlights the box and that's what I've actively looked for. But the circle on the floor was actually a tiny bit too small compared to, like, things would get targeted before the circle would get there. So they've just fixed the circle radius so that it looks the right way. Okay. All right. That's fine then. Fixed a bug with temporal change skill used by blah, blah trap with the other cause other effects on it. I'm sorry. Fixed a bug with a temporal change skill used by the unending lethargic labyrinth trap would cause other effects on cursed enemies to expire faster rather than slower. Didn't know that happened. Anti-temp chains. Supporting a skill with second wing, so an Black Zenith Club would not provide additional use. Sure. The limit had been reached. Sure. Fixed a bug with a malevolent skill effect duration increase. Said it affected itself when using a divine blessing. It didn't say it affected itself. It does affect itself. Was it not meant to? Fixed a bug which causes leap slammed, always use your main weapon to determine attack when dual wielding, whatever. The storm amulet was not triggered a second time. Sure. Fixed a bug with a reservation passive which provided damage for each type of your aura on a herald skill affecting you was providing double the effect it should have. This is a nerf. It can't affect itself. The duration is decided on cast before the effect. Right. Sure. But then you would just cast it again before it expired and it would be affecting itself because you already had it when you cast the blessing. Fixed a bug where weapon swapping into melee weapons. Fixed a bug where weapon swapping into a melee weapon while blast rain projectiles were falling would add the damage from that weapon to the blast rain projectile damage. I want to be honest, if you were using this trick to do more damage to enemies, well done, you deserve it. You're going to the effort that I would never go to. That's insane. If you were out here doing that, well done. Well done, and I'm sorry it's fixed now. But that's a lot. Fixed a bug with a maximum leech amount you could only determine. Fixed a bug with a maximum leech amount you could only be determined on the character as a whole rather than on a specific skill. Okay. Fixed a bug which causes enemies affected by the defund to still explode upon dying. Okay, cool. Whatever. Oh, fixed a bug where mana forged arrow support was not tracking mana spent by triggered bow skills not supported by mana forged arrows. I knew about this and it was really annoying. I'm happy with that. Fixed a bug with all skills, scroll, blah, blah, blah. Any other cool stuff? Fixed a bug. The cause sentinel of dominant summon of a dominating blow to not be able to use their slam skill more than 4 times. Never noticed that. Never noticed that. Fixed a bug where Hex is supported by spell totems and cursed ground. Could be supported by focused ballista support. I didn't know that was a thing. Anything else important? Nope. That's it. That's it for everything I care about. All right. Overall, I think those are really good patch notes, and I feel like I'd feel way better about them if there wasn't 74 pages of ruthless exclusive patch notes taking up half the entire page. Because, like, there were enough patch notes for us to be pretty happy if that just didn't exist in the middle there. If that just didn't exist in the middle there was enough for us to be happy. Could we just, like, not do so much work at Ruthless? That would be great. Okay, we've got FAQs. We're going to go through them, but I need to visit the bathroom. That is the end of the patch notes anyway. We will do a TLDR thing probably.